did anything happen today in the WNBA? Anything at all? Any announcements? The answer to that question is quite literally everything, just randomly. Look, Mondays we're kind of used to this, but goodness gracious, expansion. We're going to Philly. We're going to Philly. Well, we'll talk about that on Ball Up Top. I want to come at y'all with the emergency video. It's been a minute. Nalyssa Smith just got traded to Las Vegas. Huh. Okay. First off, the trade itself. Nalyssa Smith for a 2027 Las Vegas first round pick. Las Vegas now has no first round picks until 2028. 2028. We'll talk about Vegas. I want to talk about Dallas first because I probably have a bit more thoughts on Vegas in this. Look, if you're the Dallas Wings, what a trade. Hell of a trade. I mean, obviously, if you go and take a look at some of the Twitter reactions here, specifically from Nalyssa Smith, obviously never seen this coming, but I love you, Dallas Nation. Thank you for everything. Sick to my stomach. Thought, obviously this was not a trade that was anticipated. She says on another note, if I could have chose anywhere to go, it would have been Vegas. So hella excited for this new opportunity with my GOAT, A'ja Wilson, even though they're only like 4 years difference. Shout out to A'ja. I'm not gonna stop anyone from calling her the GOAT. She plays like it. But what a trade. What a trade for Dallas. I mean, look, Nalyssa Smith, it hasn't been great in Dallas. She's been starting, but only playing like an average of like 20 minutes, right? 19.1 minutes. So like not setting the world ablaze by any means, and not really, to me, this year is so much about, okay, who's going to fit around Paige in the long term? And it's okay if the answer to certain players is just simply not you. And I don't mean that in any disrespectful way, but like, as you're figuring out the way that this team is going to play and who can be productive next to Paige, Nalyssa hasn't really shown that, right? And you have some other bigs that are coming back from EuroLeague. You have just wanting to make just general space, like just all overall speaking, right? And if you get an offer for a 2027 first round pick, which keep in mind, Juju Watkins, Hannah Hidalgo, Madison Booker, Malaysia Wiley, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Even if that pick is just at the end of the first round, you're going to get a very quality player, right? And well, obviously there's so much time to see, who, whether it be injuries or who, there's a whole bunch of different things when it comes to like who will actually be in that draft class. Obviously, we're moving past the COVID year, which certainly helps with that. But generally speaking, that draft is like the draft, right? We've been talking about how good these drafts have been, but 2027 has been the catalyst for a lot of that talk in terms of it being, instead of just one draft, it's the string of drafts that are on the way. And now we're seeing that even increase further with Sarah Strong, Joyce Edwards. But that's beside the point here. You were able to go and get one of those first round picks for Nalyssa Smith, who did not look like she was going to be a long-term piece of this Dallas Wings team. Do you realize how great of a job that is? I will say, the idea of having a trade, it's interesting, right? Because having a surprise trade in the WNBA like that, it doesn't happen nearly as often in comparison to the NBA, right? Like that just doesn't happen. And that can shake up a locker room. And this is a locker room that has already felt fragile over the course of this season. I think it's been a lot better recently. The winning surely helps that, right? But I'm sure that kind of goes both ways in terms of like winning helps the locker room and the locker room helps winning, right? And I'm interested in seeing if this shakes anything else up, right? Just in terms of it being a surprise, clearly. Obviously, DJ Carrington is on this team, and who is Nalyssa Smith's partner, right? Like, I'm not saying anyone's going to be a crazy unprofessional or anything, but I am just like genuinely curious if we see any like cracks within that, right? But still, from a long-term perspective, what a trade for the Dallas Wings and the opportunity to try and go put another great young player in a couple years next to Paige Beckers. What a hell of a deal. Now let's talk Vegas. You could have drafted one of those players, right? And here's the thing, and it's driving me crazy when it comes to teams making win now moves. Now, let me say, Las Vegas has looked better as of late, right? You just had that great win against Phoenix, that comeback win. You look better as of late. However, it has not been good this entire season. And so to go and spend that much on a player like Nalyssa Smith, right, who can certainly be, I mean, frankly, the position of need at the 4 is major for this Vegas team. Obviously, Kia Stokes has not been great. So if you move Asia over to the 5 and, like however you want to workshop that or whatever different lineups you're looking to accomplish, I don't hate the Nalyssa Smith pickup. I hate the price you paid for it. And like, I mean, I have this mock draft here, just kind of a list of names: Juju Watkins, Hannah Hidalgo, Camille Pierre, Audi Crooks, Talia Scott, Samaya Nichols, Kimora Johnson, Talaysia Cooper, like Michaela Williams. I mean, just keep going down that list. Madison Booker. I'm getting overwhelmed just by looking at the list of players that no matter where you land in the first round, you are getting a legitimate, great college talent. And so you go in now and try and make a win now move after we've already seen that's it. The feel is certainly that this version of the Aces, this core 4 ideal, even if Asia Wilson is there, it feels like this has run its course. And so to go and invest in this year, when you already don't have picks for the next couple years in the first round, I mean, what a risk. What a risk. And to me, like in comparison to my reaction to like Chicago or Los Angeles making win now trades, you got Asia Wilson, right? And like you have like Jackie Young is on this team. Like you have good players, championship caliber players. Obviously, we've seen them do it. So I'm not as mad at the win now move. It's really not about that. To me, it truly is the price you just paid for it feels steep. Steep. So in that sense, you gotta go make something shake now. And because right now, the future of the Las Vegas Aces as a franchise, you're always going to be like, there's a certain floor that you have just by having Asia Wilson on your team because she is the best player in the world. Until proven otherwise, she's the best player in the world. There's certainly some players making some cases. But Asia Wilson is the best player in the world until someone comes and takes that crown. And with that, there is a floor. But with that, you need – I mean, you look at Aaliyah Nye right now, right? And obviously that's a second-round pick. And, like, you're going to have to go and make those types of draft moves, right? And obviously we'll see how free agency shakes out and everything. But I am just absolutely in shock at this move to go and trade a 2027 first-round pick. I cannot emphasize that enough. A 2027 pick. Where by the time that we get to 2027, you better hope Asia Wilson's still on this roster. Or it might be real wicked for where your draft position is and where the Dallas Wings will be drafting from. You better hope Asia Wilson is still on this roster. And you have to see what you could turn around this year. Again, generally speaking, I don't hate the Nalyssa Smith move. I think that there is a position of need, and I don't know what the rest of the market looked like, right? In terms of trying to find a 4 that fits that positional need and what the prices were. So I can't speak on that. But just off seeing that graphic and seeing Nalyssa Smith for a 2027 first round draft pick, boy, that feels steep. And for Vegas's sake, I hope they get enough out of it. Because that's brutal. That's brutal. Well, for expansion talk, for more talk on this, I mean, there's so much going on in the WNBA. We have the Commissioner's Cup tomorrow. Ball up top, we're recording tonight. We'll have that to you tomorrow. We'll have segments here on YouTube. But if you go on nocatspacewbb.com, you could find the entire podcast all in one. That's where you got to be. So make sure you go subscribe. It's free over there. And, of course, we have our paid tier as well for additional content. I literally was out writing a new piece of additional content, and then boom, I got to come back and record a video. I can't ever leave my emergency bubble for emergency videos, even when I think it's safe. It never truly is. Make sure you're tapped in here on the YouTube. Make sure you're tapped in on NoCatSpaceWBB.com for all of our print and podcast content. I'll see you next time.